You wouldn't believe what happened to me today. So, I spent the day at this modern art exhibit. A real feast for the eyes, right? These artists were exploring the interplay of technology and human emotions, making this bizarre yet captivating abstract art. It was like peering into a different dimension, as if Salvador Dali took a vacation in the 21st century. Speaking of Dali, I couldn't help but think about our late-night discussions on surrealistic art photography. Remember those? Meeting Ethan there was just the cherry on top. You'll like him, I promise. I'm thinking of inviting him over to our next jam session. You okay with a newbie joining in? Now on to the interesting part. These tech-infused pieces got me thinking. What if we integrate this essence into our AI photography at Click AI? It might just redefine the way we perceive art through the lens, don't you think? And guess who I can't wait to discuss this with? Our think tank group. This brewing idea is sure to turn heads. But enough about my art chronicles. Let's hear about your day. How is the dog training going with Poochie? Did he finally learn to shake hands? On a delicious note, you remember Lucas, right? Well, he just finished a kick-ass project. We all decided to celebrate with a midnight street food run. We tried this new falafel food truck on the corner, so yum. Poor Emily missed out because she couldn't make it. We did get her a takeaway, though, because, hello? Who skips falafel night? But on a serious note, do you think Emily's working herself too hard? She's been backing out a lot lately. Maybe we should plan a surprise day out for her next week. You're the mastermind here, so I'm totally counting on you. Well, look at the time now. I swear, time just slips when we're chatting away like this. So today was all about expanding my realm of tranquility. You remember Lana, right? My mindfulness coach? She suggested this sensory deprivation tank session. I was naturally curious and didn't want to pass on this experience. It was such a serene ordeal. Spending an hour floating around in this egg-like tank, completely disconnected from the outside world. For someone who's always on the run or jumping between meetings, this off-the-grid experience felt like a different kind of vacation. It's kind of like your soul goes on a vacation while you're physically still here. And dare I say, I'd choose this over sandy beaches and margaritas. It might sound like pure hippie stuff, but the calmness and peace it brought, wow. Such a delight to the mind, you know? There were moments when I almost felt like I was levitating. Speaking of delight, Emily was boasting about her delicious cinnamon rolls in the group chat today. I asked for the recipe, hoping to recreate that magic in my own kitchen. Maybe you could give it a try too? Sort of a cinnamon roll cook-off? Winner takes all the frosting. And let's not forget Carlos. He is planning to try out the sensory deprivation tank after hearing about my experience. Boy, he's surely up for some relaxation with his hectic schedule. He was off for an evening run when I last checked the chat. I mean, where does he get all that energy from? By the way, Lucas had the funniest reaction. He said I'm a new level hippie now. Can you believe that? But I'm like, hey, if reaching this tranquility requires me to be a hippie, then why not? Who knows? He might be next in line for the tank. Anyway, all this reminiscing about the sensory tank session is making me want to go back again. I guess I'll schedule another session soon. It's really been quite the revelation. I guess Calm Live is here to stay, at least for now. Hey, maybe next time we could try it together, huh? What do you think? Okay, I'm just going to say it. The French have a real knack for making deliciously intimidating desserts. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you're hearing me right. Bet you're wondering what got me all riled up. Let me enlighten you. I made a croquembouche tower today. I know, straight out of the fancy cooking show or MasterChef, right? But I promise, it felt more like an episode of I've never even baked cookies. The result was more than just a tower of pastries. It was purely artistic, almost sculptural. Chen from the cooking lessons, remember him? He was guiding me through, thankfully, because God knows I needed it. We've been exploring various culinary arts. Honestly, he's great at this. We should have invited him to the last kitchen disaster. He could have saved the cake. With his help, I finally managed to master the croquembouche and even got some good shots for the blog. Speaking of stunning shots, remember the discussion we had about Eternal Sunshine? The visuals still have me in awe. Jim Carrey was phenomenal, obviously. Everyone's been raving about it in the group chat. Carlos finally watched it. Emily was commenting on Carrey's performance, and Lucas, well, he had quite an apt description. The art of forgetting, taken to another level. Oh, and Emily launched a new web design. She's such a whiz at that stuff. As for Lucas, his routine included some sketching, while I was there beating eggs and sifting flour. Emily, Carlos, and Lucas were all surprised about my sudden dive into the world of French patisseries. Carlos and Emily were keen to see the pictures. Lucas made quite the amusing remark about me cooking up a storm. And guess what they suggested? For me to join the Great British Bake Off. I mean, I do love the show, but being on it would be hilarious. I'll be baking the set down. On a serious note, though, I've always felt that art isn't just about creating beautiful visuals. It's also about producing experiences that stick with you. Be it French patisserie or photography or guitar, it all sort of intertwines. It's about those lingering tastes, the lasting notes, the frame that you can't get out of your head. Maybe someday I might just run the Great British Bake Off, who knows? The world works in funny ways. But until then, my little adventure today was quite an experience. An art form in itself, wouldn't you agree?